Hey everyone, so I got an interim video for you today while we wait for this new patch that's coming tonight that no one knows what's going to be in it. We do know that there's a new hero coming. It's another Earth hero. It's a hero that was kind of spoiled on Ace's YouTube, but we really don't know anything about the kit. There's some minor descriptions, but I really don't want to talk about that, I guess, because I just like reviewing a hero once it's fully released and you know everything about them. So anyway, so that is coming, and then there's a lot of anticipation that this is going to be nerfed. What their definition of a nerf is, I guess we'll see. So yeah, anyway, while we wait for that, I am going to showcase you a hero that I think is pretty underrated, because he gets overshadowed by his husky brother here, and that's Horry. So Horry is friends. I don't know if they're brothers or friends. I think it says in the bio what they are. I don't know. I thought it said if they were brothers or not. It doesn't. Anyway, so Horry. Horry's actually a pretty good hero. He has similar mechanics to Bacchi. The problem is Bacchi's mechanics, which we've gone over, this roller bomb ability, ignoring 100% of defense, is just so huge. So Horry does have certain things similar to Bacchi, where if he kills somebody, he gets to activate a attack on his trait. But it is not to the level of Bacchi's, because Horry's is not ignoring defense. So let's talk about him, and then I'll talk about his applications and things like that. Okay. So he has this lurking striker ability, where it says if the target is the enemy with the lowest health, where Bacchi is the highest health, it launches a bonus attack with Serpent Thrust up to 1 time per round. And this is Serpent Thrust. So I do have him A5. So if you get him ascended, he actually does more damage. So I'll talk about this one. It says deals 150% damage to one enemy. Damage ignores the target's defense up, damage reduction, and shield effects, and scales with their lost health. So this is a very interesting trait attack. Now, obviously, like I said, it's not as good as Bacchi's because it's not ignoring defense, but it does ignore defense up, which is usually up on heroes like Nero. Damage reduction. This pertains to block buffs like that you'll see on Crazed Urzag or Rosalie. This also does apply to traits and passives like on Afroine and Dark Hassle. So I'll talk about that here in a second. And then shield effects. So there are a couple heroes in the meta that use shields. So ignoring stuff like that is actually pretty cool. This is one of the reasons why I built him. I thought he might be fairly useful against Ralph. What happens is if you get Ralph down to no shield, no life, and he goes into his little barrel, if you attack him with this Serpent Thrust, it will ignore that shield and kill him right away. So that's kind of cool. I will say, on the surface, like what I just said on paper, killing the Ralph and stuff, it sounds better on paper than in application. So just FYI. So yeah, that is his trait. And then also if he's ascended, he gains stealth. Now, this is actually pretty important. It does allow him to survive, maybe a red, a fire nuke AoE or something like that, just because he'll take reduced damage. But the stealth itself is the most important thing, because it's one of those options where they can't snipe him. Unless it's an AoE ability, with stealth, people can't target him with like a single target attack, and I think that is its most useful application. On top of that, one of the reasons why I built him, and a little sidebar here, is I plan on using him with Alicia, which is a hero that I do want to build. So she has this trait that any team member in stealth state ignores 25% of the target's defense. So I know she puts stealth on people, but the fact that Horry enters the game with stealth as well is kind of cool. So that is one of the reasons why I was building him, because with Alicia, he'll ignore an additional 25% of people's defense. So yeah, that's his trait. That was long, sorry. So then the rest of his kit is almost identical to Bacchi, except for, some minor differences. So Bacchi also gets this crit up damage on his basic ability and then dealing 110%. The passive here, similar to Bacchi's, except whenever he kills an enemy, he has a chance to launch a bonus attack with Serpent Thrust on the enemy with the lowest health. So Bacchi keeps going after the highest health person, where Horry keeps going after the lowest health person. And then the ultimate, again, is similar to Bacchi with the attack up 2 and deals 160% damage to one enemy. So there are some glaring differences between Horry and Bacchi in the way you build them. So Bacchi and Horry, they each have True Strike on their abilities. But Bacchi, because his Roller Bomb ignores 100% of defense, you actually want to build him with 100% crit instead of True Strike, because True Strike is ignoring 80% of the enemy's defense. You don't want that. You want the full ignore defense, so you don't want to build him with True Strike in mind. Horry, though, you do want to build him with True Strike in mind, because ignoring that defense is actually great for Horry's Serpent Thrust, because he ignores everything else except the actual defense. He ignores defense up, damage reduction, all that stuff. But if he can actually ignore defense, then his Serpent Thrust is actually going to do a lot more damage. So what that means is his ultimate ability, giving attack up 2, actually works really well with his True Strike mechanic, because you want to build higher attack to get True Strike procs. And here, the attack up actually is going to boost your attack even higher than if you were building higher crit damage. So anyway, so here, this is my build. I am testing this out. I was going with really high attack and then mediocre crit damage, but there are times where he doesn't do that, and I still want him to do enough damage, but I have him fairly quick. The reason I do this is I want him to go in there and snipe, specific damage dealing heroes before they can do some kind of big AoE nuke, and definitely get in front of, these big bulky characters to try and get them down fairly low before my big nuke. But those are his stats: 317 crit damage, 270 speed, and then 6,000 attack. And again, he is booked fully, so that's how I'm getting those stats. His glyphs, he gets an odd amount of speed. You usually see 19, 29, or 31, so that's kind of weird. He gets okay crit rate, okay crit damage. Like I said, I have him ascended 5, so he does get the stealth and the additional damage on his Serpent Thrust. So all of those things are beautiful for him. I have him in speed set. It would be ideal if I had better assassin set, but I don't, so it's just full speed. So he's in attack percent, crit damage, attack percent, crit damage, precision, which is pretty nice. Attack percentage, crit rate, crit damage, speed, crit damage, crit rate. This is awesome. Dodging, agility, and attack. Felt so good. He is an attack percentage with crit rate and crit damage rolls. Pretty nice. And then attack percentage with crit rate and crit damage. And then he has these funky little relics on for additional crit damage. And actually this substat works with his Serpent Thrust, because his Serpent Thrust scales off of lost health as well. So anyway, this is a pretty decent piece for him. And then I also have just this random thing on him to make him a little chunkier. So yeah, let's take him into arena. I'll just show you, a couple fights here. Hey guys, sorry. Before we get into the arena fights, I told you that I was going to mention Horry's damage reduction effect where he ignores damage reduction on his trait, it says. Sorry, on his Serpent Thrust. It says damage reduction, right? Ignores the target's defense up, damage reduction. So I had gotten this confirmed by Ace that heroes like Vengeful Hassle, where it says at the start of each round gains 15% bonus damage reduction, Horry actually will ignore this. So that is something to reference. It is one of the reasons why I built him. And then on top of that, if we go to the other hero who's bonkers, yeah. Also, Afroni. She says reduces damage received by 50% and launches a counterattack. I've also been told that this is considered damage reduction. So I have no way to confirm this because I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've been told, as in ignores damage reduction. So I did just want to throw that in there. I know I had said I would talk about it in the video, and then I was watching it, and I forgot that I said that. So I'm just slotting it in here. Okay, back to the arena fights. And show you what he can do. Okay, so a fight like this, let's bring in somebody that can kill. We need to be able to kill this guy. Let's bring in this person. And then we'll bring in his Bacchi. He's a little slow because I haven't built for the Rift. That'd be nice to show you how he works like that. But anyway, let's not do that. Let's bring in somebody like... let's just do this. Okay. We might get nuked by the gear and all, but I don't care. We're just showing Horry. Okay, so here's Horry. He's in his stealth mode, as you see. Sadly, I cannot do my speed boost, or this SSA is actually going to counterattack and remove his stealth. But anyway, we'll give him a bonus turn. Now here, you can see that this little blue icon shows who the lowest health person is. It's kind of hiding behind her debuffs. But you can just look here as well. So because I want to kill this hero, it doesn't mean I have to attack her. It's just that's who he would do his bonus attack to. But I actually want to attack Royce because I want to kill him. So because we get that bonus turn, he'll get it after his attack up goes up. Okay, so now that little blue icon is under Royce, right? So now whenever he attacks, he has the attack up and he'll put up crit damage up. He'll attack Royce, and then he'll do his bonus attack similar to Bacchi. And then he'll hopefully kill him with the Serpent Thrust, and then you'll see him attack the Giranol. So there you go. And there's the Serpent. See, and that's where the True Strike comes in. And as you see here, if he gets one of those kills, he can end up kind of spiraling, you know? Being able to then go after the next lowest hero, which is kind of cool because damage dealers tend to have the lowest health where the tanks have the highest health, which is something that kind of works against Bacchi. So that is just something to keep in mind. But anyway, we'll end up losing this here just because the Nero is going to nuke, and then the SSA does dumb things. Like this, triggers off of Nero and all that stuff because he's balanced. So, but that was Horry's kind of Serpent Strike. As you saw, it did pretty good damage. Like, I think he's underrated just because he gets overshadowed from Bacchi, but he's still a really strong hero. So this is a team that, in my opinion, Bacchi wouldn't be fantastic against because of the Mythasia. But I do think that Horry is a pretty nice option here, just because of his ability to attack someone like Tia, most likely. So we'll see here. Because if I had Bacchi, he would have to target down the Mythasia. But here, Tia is definitely the lowest health. So here we'll go here. We will stun the Mythasia. And then Horry's going to get to go. He'll end up killing her. And then trigger his roller bomb, or sorry, serpent thing to go into Ashlyn. So yeah, so there's the attack up 2, and then the bonus attack. So sadly, you know, because he's weak affinity, or element or whatever, he ends up not being able to kill there. So 24-17, like, that's what I'm saying. That's no joke. Like, this is a solid hero. It's just a shame that he gets overshadowed by his husky brother. But anyway, you know, pretty decent hero. I really like him. I've enjoyed using him. I will say that he is viable in the Rift of Chaos Fire Boss as a damage dealer, because he will get those bonus attacks each time. So, you know, something to think about there. So here I'm going to take out my Nero, because there's just a lot of fire heroes in here, and we'll put in somebody like Rosalai. So the nice thing is you know, here God Fairy is actually going to put his ultimate on cooldown, but it's not going to matter because we're still going to get that Serpent Thrust ability whenever we attack. Ooh, nice. Oh, yeah, because, sorry, God Fairy doesn't work that way. Anyway, so here, this is where we get to attack the Baron. And hopefully we don't get weak hit here, because then it will chain and kill the Hassle, which will be really nice. Nice. Into the Hassle. So what was that, 16,000? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not bad. It's not bad. Just overshadowed, which is a bummer. But anyway, that's our boy Horry. And then we have old Rosalai just solo here. So, but like I said, interim video, just waiting for this patch, guys. I wanted to give you a little something to watch while you're waiting, just like me. All right, that is Horry. I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.